Yo, what's good? It is Pika. I'm over here in Singapore calling in. It is Saturday night, you guys. As always, last couple days I've been warning y'all, just be careful, be smart. I know y'all all wilding out this weekend because it's Halloween weekend. Um, if you're headed out to Clark Key or Boat Key, please be safe. Please stay accountable for one another and have tons of fun. Have fun for me too. I wish I was out there with y'all. But it's all good. This time next year, I will be back out in costume, okay? That is a promise. All right, so let's see. Saturday, I had a late day today, so I had a lot of work in the house that I got done. As always, you know me, it's like housework, homework, work. That's pretty much it. I just do work. Um, I probably should play a little, but there'll be a time for that eventually. But right now, I'm enjoying the ride. It's pretty cool. Every now and again, I get to sit down and watch a movie with baby girl. Mostly when I'm doing her hair, which that's still cool. I'm still cool with that. I'm not complaining. It's very boring and super predictable, but that's cool too. I'm all right. All right, so got all my housework done. I did do her hair this morning, but I did it really simple because I wanted her scalp to breathe a little bit. Something about their scalp when we start, braiding it really tight. Not that I'm not able to do it very tight, but even then, it's quite tight. There are a lot of lines. I have to do a lot of parts in her hair. So the fact that her hair is pulled this way and that way kind of hurts her sometimes. The first day is usually pretty difficult for her, and then after that, it kind of loosens up anyway. So the first day that I do her hair, she's usually pretty happy. Sometimes it gets a little tight depending on if I cornrowed it versus the box braids. And then I just need to put in oil, and the oil kind of helps the hair to like relax a little bit because it's been pulled in a new direction. So that kind of helps. Um, let's see, got her hair done. Finally, like ran, took a shower because I was running late at that point. And ran, took a shower, went to work. Picked up food on the way for lunch. Went to work, and I kind of felt useless at work today. I kind of felt like I wasn't on top of my game. I didn't know what was going on. My boss asked me, who was coming to the workshop, and I couldn't answer her definitively. I felt really stupid about that. And usually I'm on point, you guys. I call, I make sure I follow up. I knew everybody's names on the list usually, but this week I did not, and I kind of feel stupid about that. But you know what? I'll chalk it up as a failure today, and we will see if we can get some shit done better for next week. How about that? So, yeah, finished up work, came back home, and you guys, baby girl has been complaining lately that her skin hurts, and I'm worried. I'm going to say it. I'm worried. I'm worried a little bit. I don't know if it's in her mind. I don't know if she's upset about something. I don't know if it's actually physically something that I need to be worried about. The last time she used to say that she had her skin hurt to the touch was when she would be running fevers. And normally it's like a precursor to the fever because she could feel it. But I've been monitoring her on and off for a while now. And though she says, yeah, it hurts, she feels cold and clammy rather than really hot fever. So generally speaking, her body temperature is a little bit higher than normal because she's still young, right? So when she's going through a fever, the palms of her hands are like on fire. I can tell. But right now, her forehead is cold and clammy. Her hands are normal. Her arms are normal. But she's telling me that her skin hurts. And I don't know if it was because back in April she had that extended fever that went on for a while. I don't know if that kind of did some damage or not. But yeah, I'm a little concerned. So I wrote to one of my uncles. I have a lot of doctors in the family, so I wrote to one of my uncles, waiting for from some advice back from him, and we'll see what to do from there. Meanwhile, I was able to get her to eat some food. I did give her some Panadol syrup tonight because I wanted her to be comfortable enough to fall asleep. Put her in bed, got her to sleep, and here I am contemplating my next move. Man, let me talk to you about yesterday. So last night after the podcast, right, the episode yesterday, I definitely had two more conference calls. So I had a one-on-one with one of my girls, Jahan. You should be hearing from her soon because she's just thrilled about the fact that there is Facebook Live audio, and she's looking to get on and do her own show soon. So if you want, look up Jahan, Jihan. Otherwise, follow her on Instagram. Strong Women Are Beautiful. So yeah, talk to Jahan for a little bit. We're coordinating stuff like how we can talk to each other and keep each other accountable for the goals we got going on because the end of the year is coming, and yeah, time is speeding up, not slowing down. So as it is, you all know, right? At the beginning of this month, I told you what my goals were for this month, and they were mostly health oriented. Now, I will say this. I have gained. Wait, let me check real quick. Let's start with the water. I'm drinking a lot more water, especially when I'm at home. I'm making sure I drink water at work. I am eating a whole lot better, and I think I mean I was eating very well last month as well, and it just seems like because I wasn't doing very well food wise for the last couple months since April pretty much. I guess my body took like a month to kind of figure itself out, and right now, you guys, I've gained a total of 3 kilos this month, so I'm happy about that. The goal was 5 kilos. I'm not pushing it any further than this right now. I mean, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. It's not a big deal, but it's better than where I was last month, which was I couldn't gain weight to save my life. So yeah, I'm in a better place as far as that's concerned. I've been drinking more water like I told you I would. I've been sleeping a little better, not much. I started off this month pretty good, but with all these conference calls and, accountability check check groups, WhatsApp groups, business everywhere, just 360 degrees of business. I'm back to not sleeping as well as I could be. I will say this, I have stopped checking social media at night. I try really hard not to keep my headphones near me. Um, the phone is near me, but I try to keep it face down. I try really hard not to. I try really hard not to check my phone at night. That was one of the causes of me not sleeping well because to interrupt your sleep is already bad. You're disrupting your REM cycles and stuff. But because of the anticipation, because the business world is now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it does not sleep. Um, there is there is the idea that you can develop the bad habit of just checking all the time. I try really hard not to because I have a kid. I need to be present with the kid. But it's not always possible because the notifications do keep coming up. And then sometimes some of the posts are time sensitive. I got to make sure that they're up on time, that they're getting the kind of readership that I want. And then when I get a chance, I'm responding back to comments. Now, eventually I will automate all of those things, as in I will have a set time and a place to do all these things so that it doesn't kind of just consume my life. But for now, I'm trying really hard to do the best I can with what I know. Yeah, so with that said, I am doing okay with those goals. The weight goal is in, I would consider that a success at this point. I mean, 6 pounds is about, sorry, 6 pounds. 3 kg is about 6 something pounds, 6.6 pounds or whatever. So, dude, I'm good. I was looking at 10 pounds minimum, and I'm at almost 7, so I'm okay with that. This is a win for me. Um, so that was the day. These are my goals. I did not pick up the blog piece. I will push that again, but I have a better idea of how to strategize and actually put these things together. So more on that later. That will be our November goals. The topic I chose for tonight was character, and I'm gonna tell you why. Um, Man, I've been saying a lot lately, huh? I'm really sorry. So the topic is character, and with this particular attribute, I want to tie in reputation. There are people out there that are hell bent on misunderstanding you no matter what the hell you do. They do not want you to succeed. They don't want to see you move past them. They don't want to see you leave them behind. And a lot of times, they're the people closest to you. There are people that have come to me lately and been, they're upset, they want to talk, they don't know how to handle certain situations, they're emotionally overwhelming, and it's destroying how they see the world. I have one young lady who is super accomplished. I could not be more proud of this woman. She is mentally tough, except for when it comes to someone who is close to her. Someone whom she looks up to, whom she thinks should not give her a break per se, but at least not pick on her because she can. And I had to explain to her, look, some people do not want to see you succeed. They're upset that you can do so much, and that they have been given more gifts than you and can't measure up. So sometimes in a small-minded person's view or way of thinking, the best way for you to feel good about yourself is to tear down the person who makes you feel bad about yourself. Now, what they don't seem to realize is that person isn't making you feel bad about yourself. You comparing yourself to that person makes you feel bad about yourself. So there are two things you can do. You can either tear them down to your level, or you could level up and maybe, go out and do whatever you can and try and match that energy. But people seem to fail to understand that this is something they can handle. They could actually change. They could level up. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to look at other people around us and be like, damn, they're doing so good. You know what? I need to step my game up. That's what we're supposed to say to ourselves. Like, I can't stand her. She's doing so good. Like, of course she's got help. People are doing stuff for her. Like, she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth, and she comes from a house of money, and people are just handing her stuff like, I fucking hate her. She sucks. But that's not actually how you feel. You hate yourself. You're mad that you're not in the same position she is in. You're mad that you find the need to compare yourself to someone else. But that's your damn problem. I'll put it to you like this. If you and I are sitting in a room, and I'm sitting here just shaking my leg because it's a nervous habit, I can't help it sometimes. When I'm trying to keep myself awake, or if I'm upset and I need to get rid of some of this nervous energy, I will sit here and shake my leg. All right? So if you're sitting in front of me and you see me shaking my leg and you get pissed off because it's annoying you, who has the problem, me or you? Let's be real honest about that. Who has the problem? Is it me because I'm shaking my leg and it's making me feel good? Or is it you because you're noticing and you're allowing it to upset you? Who has the problem? I'm telling you, it's you. You can choose to look at me shaking my leg, or you could turn the other friggin' way and notice something else about your life. Everything in the world could be going great for you, and you notice this one small thing that pisses you the hell off, and suddenly, that's all you think about. So like I said, there are some people out there hell-bent on misunderstanding you. They could care less how hard you worked, how much you didn't have, and now look at you. None of that. They don't care. The very sight of you upsets them. Why? Because it reminds them of their lot in life. It reminds them that they settled and they feel like they can't get out of that situation, not knowing that it's in their hands. Now that, in a way, digs into the reputation portion of this. People decide what your reputation is. Your character has nothing to do with that. Who you are when nobody's watching. Who you are when you're at, baseline, without situations where you have to impress anybody, where you have to show up all dressed up. None of that. When you're sitting around in your pajamas at home and there's no one else around to judge you or say anything, there's nothing. It's just you. Who you are when you are by yourself, that is your character. When you're walking down the street and you have nowhere you have to be in any particular time, you're just taking your time walking down the street and you notice something wrong somewhere, how you respond to that thing that's out of place, that defines your character. Your reputation will spread, mostly by gossip, because someone is saying something about what you've done. They could blow it out of proportion, they could say the actual truth, they could minimize what you've done, whatever. But your reputation is kind of built on what other people say. You can't go around tooting your own horn, otherwise that'll be part of your reputation too. Man, she's full of herself. But your character stands alone. No one can change your character for you, only you can do that. Now, yeah, you will be tempted to be petty just like everybody else. You will be tempted not to give a fuck just like everybody else. You will be tempted to take revenge, tear people down, give back just like you keep getting from people, because why should you take the high ground every day? Why should you be the righteous one, right? I know y'all have had that monologue go through your head sometimes. Why? Because it's in your nature to do so. Why? Because that is what your character defines you as. If you are consistent, nothing you do, and no matter how many people talk about your reputation, you are consistent. To the people that matter, you are consistent. People tell me I'm arrogant. I don't feel arrogant, but I will tell you like it is. I will tell you like it is, and sometimes that goes down the wrong way. They tend to choke on my truth. And that's okay, I could care less, but I am not doing you any disservice by lying to your face. You understand? If there's something wrong with you, I'm going to try the best way possible to feed it to you gently. But if you don't like it, you don't like it. I can't help that. I cannot help what you feel. I cannot help what you do. I can only run my truth. I can only run my race. You get me? So your character, that speaks volumes about who you are. Your character usually starts people talking about you. But then their experiences and how they perceive you to be kind of changes that sometimes. When I worked at Wyndham, there was a very good friend of mine, Russ Mall, who used to tell me I was a martyr. And I thought that was funny because I didn't think I was a martyr. I just thought I was doing the right thing. Do you know why he told me I was a martyr? And he actually didn't like that about me. That I would lay everything on the line and make sure everyone else is taken care of instead of taking care of myself. He would tell me I was a martyr, and he'd get upset about it, and I'd kind of get irritated. But I'm thinking, you know what? I didn't do anything wrong. The reason he chose that word to describe me is because my decision-making process, it's the way I was raised. My decision-making process cannot include me. If I'm going to do something, I need to consider how many people it's going to hurt and how many people it's going to benefit. But I cannot be part of that equation, because then it becomes selfish. I can slant it anywhere I want then. It's like data manipulation. It works for me. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with what I've done. That decision-making process has kept me out of a lot of trouble. Okay? But he felt that this is the kind of person I was, that in his eyes, it made me look a little weak, like I couldn't take care of myself or I wouldn't take care of myself, and that would leave me open to criticism from other people. In his own way, he was looking out for me. But the definition of martyr, not the definition, the connotation of martyr in that regard was not a good one. I've had people tell me I'm a complete bitch. Mostly because I don't really succumb to anyone else's ideas of what should be and shouldn't be. 20 years ago, yeah, I would have done anything for you to like me. Right now, I could care less. You can take it or leave it, and that's your prerogative. I'm going to keep on going. Now, if you're close to me, I'm going to try a little bit harder. I'm going to try and explain myself. I'm going to defend myself a little bit. I'm going to make sure that you understand that I have your best interests at heart. And if you don't like the way I do things, well, you know what? If you tell me that you really don't want me meddling with your stuff, fine, you know what? I will leave it alone. I will let you be. I will not stick my neck out and try really hard to help you. But that is my character. I am love. It's what I do best. You stick around me for long enough, and I'm going to have you believe that you can conquer the world too. Because that's how I feel. I'd like to think my energy is contagious. I'd like to think that I can calm your soul and then get you to believe in yourself. That's my whole purpose in life. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Calm people down and help them believe in themselves. Some people say I'm a bitch. Some people don't like to think of me as having the team's interests at heart. I had a situation when I was working for the Grand Hyatt where if I don't have someone to come cover my shift for my lunch break, I will stay out there and make sure that the lobby is covered. Now, I got in trouble a lot for doing that, mostly because the person who was supposed to come down from the meeting to take over so I could go eat would take their own sweet time. And sometimes it wasn't them. Sometimes it was just the meeting ran over, which is fine. But why was I the one getting in trouble if the person who should have been getting in trouble is actually the person who should come and cover me? I can't leave. There used to be such a big fuss about leaving the lobby unmonitored. Okay? What if you miss a VIP? What if somebody comes in and they are not taken directly to their room because the lobby ambassador was not there? Those are the kinds of things we would get in trouble for. But for some reason, every time, if I stuck to my guns and made sure the lobby was covered until someone came to relieve me, I would get in trouble. Crazy, right? But that made me a bitch because I was just fucking up the whole team's atmosphere and making everybody upset, and they just couldn't understand. Why? Why can't you just leave and go eat on time like everybody else? Because I'm not like everybody else. Because I take hospitality very seriously. I take service very seriously. I used to go out of my way to get to know the guests and do things my own way. And a lot of times it was on the fly, so I didn't have time to go get it approved by people. And it wasn't like I was spending money anyway. It was heartfelt stuff that I did on my own. we've always had guests who come and stay for long periods of time, and when they do that, you tend to get to know these people very well. So when one of my guests got ready to leave the hotel and actually move into their new home, which is why they were, long stays with us, I made her kids framed quotes based on their character. I can't draw for peanuts. I can trace really well. So I traced some stuff and I colored it in. So it was very heartfelt and hand drawn. Okay, it was handmade. So I framed them with like $2 frames, and it was really cool and everything. And I gave it to them. But you know what? I got in trouble because I didn't let anyone else know, and it made everyone else look bad. Basically, these people were hell bent on misunderstanding me, which is fine because it's not going to change the way I do things. Now, it did change my attitude a little bit. I didn't try as hard anymore. I got bummed out at the thought of trying to please people or trying to surprise people or trying to like go out of my way and take initiative to care for people the way I know I can. So I went from, someone who was always in the high sat awards, mentioned by guests in the comments, the reviews of the hotel, to someone that wasn't mentioned that often, mostly because my team drove that out of me. My character remains the same. My reputation, however, changed. I need you to understand the difference between reputation and character. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, my reputation is all I have. What if, my reputation is ruined, that I have to start from the beginning? Not really. If you know who you are, if you know you're a good person, if you know you're doing the right thing every time, your reputation kind of ends up on the tongues of every other person. So you can't really judge it by your reputation. You can do the best you can, but at the end of the day, it's your character that speaks volumes. I wanted to make that distinction today because it kind of hit home for me. There was a really great quote from, I think it was Coach John Wooden. Now, John Wooden died at the age of 99. He was a UCLA basketball coach. And I love sports coaches and how they get to motivate their teams and actually talk to people and kind of get them out of their own head in order for them to succeed and perform at their best. And this quote from John Wooden basically said that be more concerned with your character than with your reputation. Your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. So today I want you to think about that. It doesn't matter what people say you are. It matters who you actually are. And no one knows that better than you. And yeah, there'll be days where you forget. You forget who you are because you get burnt out. You get worn out by the kind of things that happen around you. People will burn you. People will backstab. They will talk all day long. Beware, because people who talk to you about other people, damn sure are talking to other people about you. Should just watch that, okay? But in the meantime, your reputation isn't everything. Who you are, how you walk through this world, that is who you are. And yes, that will change from time to time based on what level you're at in your life, what kinds of things you need to adapt, adjust, accommodate so that you can move forward. But your character is who you are, not your reputation. So if nothing else, I'm hoping you see things in a different light tonight. I hope you understand that you do have your character in your hands. You can change that if you'd like. If it's in your character to revert to addictive behavior, like drinking when you're upset, gambling when you're upset, where you get irritated quickly and then you end up lashing out at people around you, that is also part of your character. Those are things, once you recognize those habits, those are things that are in your hands to change. Change is the one constant in this universe. You are capable of change. You just have to want it bad enough. And it takes that first step. And you will fail along the way, and that's okay. It's just your decision to go back and try again that makes the difference. All right, you guys, it is almost midnight over here, and I still have miles to go before I sleep. So I love you all. Take care. Once again, please be careful if you're out here for Halloween tonight. People will be out wilding out for real, drunk off their ass. Just give everybody a little bit more room. Give them a little bit more patience. Try not to get into any fights this weekend. All right? Y'all be safe, and I will catch you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.